Hello, welcome back. If you're new to my channel, it's wonderful to have you here. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to be upgrading my little table here because it looks rather plain and bare. I'm just going to be spraying my table silver and I'm using super chrome. I brought my piece of glass outside and this particular one has got a bevel on the one side and a flat edge on the other side. So I'm going to be working on the side that has got the flat edge, and I'm going to be using Celo paper to cover this. Because my Celo paper is not quite long enough, I'm going to be using two pieces and I'm going to try and join them in the middle. So I've just got a little tiny spray bottle and I'm going to wet the whole piece of glass. So I'm just going to do the half that I'm actually going to be working on, and then just use a soft cloth to take the bubbles out. And do the other one exactly the same. I'm not particularly happy with the way this is joined in the middle here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to redo it and take it all off, and I'm going to put one piece in the middle and have the joins on the sides. I'm using a really sharp X-Acto knife or scalpel to now trim all my Celo off, and as you can see it's a beautiful mirror reflected because this is actually a one-way mirror. To make the front decoration I'm using a 2-litre soft drink box, and the distance from the one side to the other side is 44.5 centimeters and I need 45 centimeters. So I'm taking half a centimeter past the fold line over there onto the side flap because I want to cut it all out in one piece, but you don't need to. You can cut them out individually, so your distance that you want for each little box is 15 centimeters. But what I'm doing is cutting it all in one piece. So the center part is 8 centimeters. So where on the sides of the centerpiece you have to start your 1 centimeter mark. So I'm going up by 1 centimeter, 1 centimeter, 1 centimeter, half a centimeter on all the sides. So 1, 1, 1, half. Now for this one, because it's joined there, we're going to be going half 1, 1, 1, so that we've got the 1 on the centerpiece, which is the 8 centimeters, and so on, and just go all the way down. And I'm doing the same on the side for the box, which is going up by 1, 1, 1 half, and then I'm just going to cut the 3 boxes out and then score all these lines. To get a nice crisp band on your card, just hold your ruler on your score lines and then just bend the card up. When it gets to the small little one on the end, which is only the half a centimeter, flip your card around and then place your ruler on the little line and use the big one to bend it. Once you've scored all your lines, you're going to be marking in by 1 centimeter from the last line over there. So marking 1 centimeter and then going down, we're going to be cutting along that line there. So we're cutting just like that. So this whole section there and this tiny piece here, we're going to be cutting out, and we're leaving that small little piece so that it can close up the fold. So when you've cut your piece out, it would look like that. So that once we fold the little box inward like that and the center piece in, it closes the gap quite nicely. And just do that on all 4 corners. I've got all my little boxes cut and prepared, and for this particular project I'm going to be using 5 boxes, but I'm just going to show you how to make one of them. I'm going to be using aluminium foil, and I've got this spray adhesive, and I'm going to be placing it. So I'm going to flip my little piece over, and on the first and the second, so we've got the one that we're going to glue on, we're not going to do that one. We're just doing the first and the second. And I'm leaving the third one open because when I collapse the box, then I'm going to go around the whole thing in one piece. So on the reverse of aluminium foil, I've just got a few strips which I'm going to be using, and I'm doing a few at a time. And then we're going to take the spray adhesive and just spray it on. And the same on the box, because with the contact you need to spray on both surfaces. So I'm not spraying that one, I'm just doing these ones while I'm trying. It doesn't matter if you get the top one, it'll just have glue on for our next step. So just wait for that to get a bit tacky, and then take your paper, and you'll have to trim this down afterwards. I'm just lining it up on, that's the band line that we're going to be doing in one piece. So I'm doing it on the next one, and I'm trying to only put it on one piece. And then straightening that. And then bending the piece for the next placement so that it doesn't break when you put the next piece down. And then just do all the sides exactly the same. I've got all my foil on, and now I'm going to flip it over, and now I'm going to paint the inside of it with Mars Black. My black paint is dry now, and now I'm going to be painting with metallic silver. So I'm just going to put a thin coat on all my panels. My silver paint is dry now, and now we're going to glue it all together. I'm using hot glue for this. And now we're going to put aluminium foil along the sides. I'm using PVA glue for this. It's just a craft and it dries clear. So I'm going to just put some in here and spread it around. And I'm going to be using these mirror glass, crushed mirror glass, to pour in the center. And we're going to wait for that to dry. I'm just tipping the excess out. I'm going to be using this rhinestone or diamond wrap, and I'm going to be placing it around the side, and I'm using a row of 2 so that it can cover the whole top. I'm just using hot glue to glue my little rhinestones down. And just go all the way around them. I've got a very big piece of cardboard, and all I'm doing is I'm cutting out pieces that I need. So my measurements for my table that I'm going to be converting is 85 centimeters, and it's 10 centimeters wide, and on the sides it's 29.5 centimeters also by 10 centimeters, and I've just cut the panels out. And on the reverse side, what I've done is I've put it against the table and marked where I can attach it with zip ties. I've got my designs and I've just placed them on top of the little pieces of cardboard that I've cut out, and I'm marking in about 1/2 centimetre from the side and 1/2 centimetre from the length, so that I know where to draw the line, and I'm doing that on all of them. And I've cut out some little pieces of newspaper which I'm going to be placing on there just to cover that section, because I don't want to have my glue going in there. I'm going to be using this spray adhesive, and I'm going to be spraying just the sections that are not covered with the newspaper. To cover my pieces, I'm using Celo paper, and I'm just going to be cutting strips that are about 3 centimeters wide, and then I'm just going to spray them. I'm going to spray the Celo as well, but I think it's going to fly away because I can't hold it, so try. There you go. And now we're going to stick those down and take the newspaper off. We're going to stick the paper all the way around the sides. I'm leaving a 1 centimetre overhang so that I can turn it under. And now I'm going to spray the back with a wee bit of glue so that these pieces will stick, because this is contact glue. Just wait for that to get a wee bit tacky. And just do all your pieces exactly the same. The back doesn't have any design on it, so I'm just going to be covering my piece of cardboard with the Celo paper. I've got all my pieces covered now, and now we're going to start assembling the table. I'm taking a metal skewer and I'm just poking holes into the back panel where I'm going to be attaching some zip ties, and I'm going to be putting 3 on, so 1 on the middle, a corner and the other side. I've threaded the cable ties through the back so that the big attachment is behind my panels, and then I'll tighten that. But before I tighten them, I'm going to put some hot glue just to secure the corners, because I can't get one right in the corner there, so I'll be using hot glue to put those on. And I'm going to be doing the same with the front panel, and I'm trying to go through the area where there's no silver on it. But lucky for me, there's a tie just at the back of all the cardboard pieces. I've got all my pieces tied on, and now I'm going to be putting the little decorative pieces that we made onto the cardboard, and I'm going to be gluing those on with contact adhesive and with hot glue. I'm going to be using this self-adhesive book covering, and it's rather a nice shiny bling looking colour, and I'm going to be cutting 6 strips so that I can put it along the side of the legs. I'm going to be cutting just 1 strip. I'm also going to be using this diamond wrap, and I'm cutting just 1 strip off. I've got all my little pieces cut up, so I've got 12 of those, and I've got 6 strips, and now we can start sticking those on. The easiest way to pull your strips apart is to take some masking tape and put it as close to the top as you can get it on the one side, flip it over and put some masking tape on the other side without the masking tape touching, and then you can just pull it apart and it just comes off like that. And now you can stick that down. So I'm going to be starting in line with the top of the table, so just there, so that I've got room to put my diamond wrap on. And now I'm going to put the diamond wrap all the way around the side and across the top down the other side. I'm stopping my contact about 5 centimeters from the floor so that I can still mop without this all coming off. So now we're going to start at the top just here and work in small sections because this is metal and the glue dries really quickly. So just placing that. I'm placing one stone above my tape. And then just glue it on all the way down to the bottom. And then I'm gluing 4 stones across the top. And 4 along the bottom as well. And then just do all the legs the same. I'm using these mirror mosaic stickers and I've cut them into strips of 1, and I'm going to be gluing or sticking those on because they've got a self-adhesive backing to them, and because these ones are so tightly packed closed, you have to cut them with a scalpel. I've measured my table and I'm going to be starting in the center of my table so that I've got equal spacing on the sides, because these little tiles you can't really cut. So I'm just going to start over there and then stick that one down, and then the next one I'm going to be going on this side of the center tile. So I've got the first 2 placed, and now I'm going to be going each side as I go. I'm following, and I'm going to put one on that side and then that side until I get to the end. So I've got it all the way to the end, and now the 3 that I had to cut off I'm going to be placing on the top part over here, like that, on both sides. The tiles are a little bit big, so what I've done is I put it flush against the outside of the table leg, and I've left this tiny piece to just overlap onto the inside, and then go all the way around on the sides as well. And now I'm going to do the exact same thing on the bottom here. To make the housing for my light, I've measured the distance underneath my table, and my table is 89 centimeters. So I've marked a piece of cardboard which is 11 centimeters wide, and I've marked 2 centimeters in from the one side and 2 centimeters from the other side, so in total I've got 93 centimeters, and I'm just marking in 2 centimeters on the sides, and I'm going to be scoring along all the sides so that I can turn them over to make them into a little box. Once you've scored your box, just place a ruler on the line and then bend the box. I've marked the center of my piece of cardboard, and I'm just going to be cutting out the size of the actual light. I'm not cutting out the whole piece. So in the center I'm just going to be doing a small circle like that, which is going to match just the light section. To get the right size circle, I'm taking my compass and I'm measuring it from that point to that point, and then I'm going to measure that onto a ruler and then divide it into 2. So this particular circle is 4 centimeters, so I'm going to be closing the compass down to 2 centimeters and then drawing a circle, and then I'll be cutting that out. I've got the circle marked, and I'm just going to be taking a pair of scissors and cutting that out. I'm using these small remote control press button color changing lights, and I've cut the hole out, and as you can see the light shines quite nicely through that little hole. On a spare piece of cardboard which is the same width That is the inner section of my housing. I'm going to be taking the light once again, and I'm measuring it from the two outer ridges, which is 6 centimeters, and I've closed the compass so that I've got 3 centimeters, and then I'm going to be drawing a circle there and cutting that out so that the light doesn't wiggle around on the other little hole that we've cut out. I've got both of the pieces of cardboard cut out, and now I'm going to be taking this piece and I'm going to be gluing it on top, and I'm just using my hot glue gun to do that. And now in the straight section of the length of it, I'm cutting along this line and on this line so that these ones are free, so that when I band it up I can glue this one on the inside. And now I'm just going to take my hot glue gun and glue these little pieces together like that. I've got it all glued into place, and I've also glued along the sides on both sides so that I can squish it together so that it gives it extra support as well. And now I'm going to be painting the whole outside of it black. The paint is all dry on it now, and now we can put the light in. I haven't painted the inside of it, so as you can see the light, it doesn't move around now, so now we can put that up. On the underside of the table, I'm just going to be balancing it on a little ledge on both sides. So there's the little light underneath it, and it just lights up my crystals that I have underneath my table. And there's the final look of my table. The light water features, so it's got a water feature on top of it. That's with the entry lights on and with the lights off. If you found this video helpful or you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. Really appreciate it if you would subscribe. Thank you so much for watching.